There's some up and down in the Forex market to kickstart the new trading day, but the trend remains to the downside, which was started yesterday in the U.S. session and continuing trading here today. So I'll talk about the technicals driving the three major currency pairs in this video: the euro versus U.S. dollar, dollar versus yen, and sterling versus U.S. dollar from a technical perspective. Let's get started. Looking at the euro versus U.S. dollar, the call from yesterday, the price went down. That was a higher dollar, and then the price went back to the upside. That was a lower dollar. The high price that we saw on trading yesterday came right up to that 100-hour moving average, found willing sellers against that level, and rotated back down into this swing area here before settling for the day. And trading today, we saw the market move higher initially and did what we did just a few days ago at the high. Broke just above the 200-hour moving average, but then rotated back to the downside. This time, in comparison to over here, the corrective move was back into the support area right through here between the 50% retracement and the 1.16309 level, and found willing buyers against that level, pushed up. And when the price moved above the 100 and 200-hour moving average at 1.16487, we saw increased momentum to the upside, taking the price above the 61.8% retracement. In the process, we are trying now to hold that level, hold the 100 and 200-hour moving average. These are the risk-defining levels for traders and the bias-defining levels in the short term for traders. But overall, we must be cognizant of the fact that the price action is up and down over the last 3 or so trading weeks through here, indicative of a market that really doesn't know which way it wants to go. But the bias is to the upside above these two moving averages, above the 61.8% retracement. The next move up comes up against this swing area right through here, where we had a number of different swing lows and swing highs initially through here, here, forming this ceiling. Trade above and below level, try to hold above it right there, and then move below it here. This is indicative of a market that doesn't know in which way it wants to go. It just alternates between support and resistance at this swing area before deciding to go to the downside. So that area up here through 1.1692, 1.17028 is the next key target on the top side for the euro versus US dollar. Let's take a look at the dollar versus yen next, and we'll take a look at the hourly chart. And as mentioned, we did see a move to the downside yesterday in this currency pair during the New York session. I'll move it away from here, and that move to the downside did see the price snap or move pretty with momentum below the 100, 200-hour moving average, tilting the bias more to the downside. That move to the downside was continuing trading here today, albeit with a choppy up and down price action. We did find initial support against what I had outlined as a sort of an interim level of support at 147.07, coming from, let's say, this low right here, this low right here, this low right here, this low right here, and we had a low there earlier today as well. And then we tried to break below it, couldn't, but rotated back to the upside. Now moved below that level. We're heading toward this next key target area right through here, where the price found support, then it broke through it, failed, and then did a pretty decent job of finding support against the area. We did have a little break below that level in trading last Friday after that big Powell speech, but that's understandable where the market had already moved a long way before bouncing back to the upside. So this area right through here between 146.61 and 75 is going to be a next target on the downside for the dollar versus yen. Break below that level, it opens the door for further downside with the low price for the month of August, the next key target. On the top side, watch the 147.07 for some resistance, and if it does hold that level, then look for that rotation to the downside. Let's take a look at the sterling versus US dollar. This is the hourly chart once again, and we saw the price break below the 200 or 100-day moving average right here. Should have sent the price lower like it tried to do here, but it failed here as well and moved back to the upside. And we saw the same type of price action trade here yesterday with the price moving back up, breaking above the 100 and 200 swing area in the process. And in trading here today, what did we do? We came back down toward those two moving averages and found support buyers against that level right here. This is going to be the key barometer for traders today and going forward at 1.3488. If the price can stay above that level, then the bias remains more to the upside. If the price moves below that level, then we'll look back down toward the 100-day moving average on the downside at 134.407. On the top side, we have the 61.8% retracement. It's of the July high going all the way back here to the low price that we saw on the first day of August. 61.8% retracement comes in at 1.35397, and as you can see, it's trading last week. The high price after the Powell speech on last Friday, came right up to that level, found willing sellers against that level, so started the rotation to the downside. We're trying to retrace that whole move. Getting above that 61.8% retracement would be more bullish, and have traders looking toward other targets on the top side. Today we have GDP second revision coming out, old news. PCE price index with the expectations of the core PCE is part of that report. Again, that's from the second quarter. Initial jobless claims, current account from Canada. Some minor data. The U.S. stocks are mixed. The Nasdaq is down about 33 points. I think the Dow's up a little bit, and that S&P may be near unchanged. But Nvidia down a little bit after earnings yesterday. So that takes a look at the markets to kickstart your day. My name is Greg Mikulowski. Good fortune with your trading. Bye-bye now.